Hello, viewers. Welcome back to another engaging episode of Manager's Mantra, where we connect with industry leaders who are shaping the future of business management. Today, we have with us Sanjay Poddar, a cybersecurity professional who has worked with some of the well known names like Fortinet and TPG Telecom. He has the expertise of designing and securing large scale enterprise and service provider networks. He also serves as Deputy IT Director at NTX ISSA, contributing to cybersecurity community initiatives, mentoring, and technical engagement. His areas of interest focus on advancing secure network architectures, identity centric security, and next gen cybersecurity technologies. So let's start with the discussion. Hi, Sanjay. A very good evening from India, and welcome to this new session of Manager's Mantra. We are really hopeful and we are really sure that this will be a great session ahead with you.
And thanks to Business Today for giving me this opportunity to talk to you guys about the current trends and I'm pretty sure you would like to know what's going on out there in the world of network security and AI, and I'm more than happy to contribute to this conversation.
Sure, Sanjay, looking ahead. So let us start discussing the questions. Sanjay, my
Sure.
first question to you is that, how has cybersecurity evolved over the past few years? And what role is AI, artificial intelligence, playing in modern enterprise cybersecurity, especially in threat detection and response?
Right. So network security and cybersecurity in general has dramatically changed in the last 15, 20 years. So earlier it was mostly about, building strong walls around your office network. So you would have your, traditional firewalls, which would, scan traffic, permissions for users to come in and go out. And the firewalls would have VPNs to connect to the data centers and to connect to other offices and stuff. But today, that is not the case anymore. So there has been a big shift. So in the 2010s, we see cloud and a great adoption of cloud. Then we had remote network during the pandemic where people are working from home. And of course, like mobile devices has, risen exponentially. So the threats and the ways of, things can get compromised pretty quickly and even for us without knowing them, right? So suddenly this parameter of where a user would sit in the office, that has completely disappeared, right? So data is everywhere and users are everywhere. So the new concept today, what we see is zero trust, where nothing is trusted by default and everything is verified. Now coming to the AI's role, right? So AI has been the game changer. So it is, and when it comes to threat detection and response, it has played a very significant and a key role these days. So traditionally, we would see known signatures of attacks, and for any traffic moving to the network, it would match against it. And if it finds any malicious traffic, well enough, it's going to go ahead and block it. But AI over here is doing a lot of learning of your network. It's doing a lot of learning of your traffic. And whenever it finds an anomaly in your network, it's going to take its action. So, for example, like a user who is, starts a large download of 2 gig at 2 a.m. at night, and that too from an unusual location. So, AI can flag those as suspicious traffic. So that's how AI is immensely, has been the contributing factor for threat detection and response these days.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Sanjay, with the advent of AI, with the use of AI, we know that it has isn't up a lot of things. But then, how can cybersecurity leaders today manage the risk of employees using unapproved AI tools at work?
So first, visibility is the key. So you need tools which can discover and monitor AI usage across the organizations, right? So what tools are being used? Who is bringing what? You might just go home and download like a malicious AI tool which nobody knows about, right? And what data is being shared with that AI as well. That is also has become a bigger part of the problem. A lot of these days we see people like pasting in or copying in confidential data, company data into ChatGPT. So that is also a lot unacceptable. So the second is that we should have and adapt a balance, we should adapt a balanced approach. So we just don't want to block everything, because AI is of course needed and it's really useful, but also because it slows down the innovation. So instead we should implement an AI access security platform, which a lot of vendors outside today do, uh, like they do offer. So this allows like a safe package, like passage, and a platform for users to, access AI systems or tools which are approved, without putting the company or your work at risk, right? And there is also a lot of zero trust policies which inspect traffic in real time, and which also apply data loss and prevention, and which also control what data can leave the organization and which cannot. So that is also very useful. But I would say the probably the most important thing over here is that the users should be strongly be educated, and they should be clear on these policies. So people don't often realize the risk, but regular training is of course needed, and guidelines should be created so that everybody follows them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sanjay. Sanjay, what are the biggest security challenges, cyber security challenges that enterprises are facing today in managing modern distributed networks?
So, in my opinion, the biggest security challenges come from the fact that our networks are no longer confined to an office or a data center, right? So it is highly diversified. It spans headquarters and branch offices, cloud platforms, and remote employees, and even mobile IoT devices, right? So, coming to my mind, there are a few top challenges which I constantly see, that there is a massive expansion of attack surface. So when I say an attack surface, it's just the outlets or the platforms, the ways where your network is exposed. So, right, for example, like there is cloud, there are users who are accessing your SaaS applications. And so these are, just examples of potential entry points, and there are many more. So this creates a lot of entry points for attackers to sort of like get into the network and exploit it. So for example, let's say that there's a salesperson in your company who is out there at a Starbucks, and is using public Wi-Fi, right? So obviously, him sitting at Starbucks and using a public Wi-Fi to get into the company network does create an attack surface over there. Um, the other thing, what I think is there is a lack of visibility and control. So organizations these days need to use a lot of tools which would give them access to these, threats in real time, and what things are going within the network. Another thing which comes to my mind is that there are too many security tools, right? So every company these days, they use 15 different security tools, and they don't talk to each other. This leads to a lot of like an overlap in security. This can also lead to misconfiguration and creating security gaps. And these are one of the leading causes of breaches in corporate and in cloud environment these days.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Sanjay, my next question to you is that, how can young leaders today translate complex technical cyber risks into clear language that can be well understood by the non-technical board members and executives?
Right. So absolutely. So for many management students, like who want to, lead into this cybersecurity, network security space, I would say it is a blend of, strategic thinking and foundational knowledge about cybersecurity, which actually sets you apart from the rest of the crowd, and how you come across, how you do your everyday job, right? So it's not just about like, pure coding or CLI wizardry anymore. So there are some skills which I think are quite needed over here. So the first thing is that you should have a good business acumen, and know about risk security as well, about what cybersecurity is, and what are the traps, and what are the, like the downfalls and like the pitfalls of it at times as well. So when you try to translate them into a business language, you should know that what breach or what what failure could have impact in terms of revenue for the company, in terms of reputation of the company, in terms of how it can, fail compliance, right? Okay, so these are some of the key things which which should be taken into consideration, right? So for example, like we help CISOs, and we also, they take this information and go to the boards to help them understand about what these things are. So the second thing, what I think is that there is a lot of cross-functional leadership and communication. So you need to align with the security teams and with the sales team, legal and executives as well, right? So this is a great example where, for example, like I work with Zero Trust a lot. So implementations across a large retail, right? And you don't really have to know like a deep packet inspection in details. It is more about how you sort of like like build those non like translate those technical terms into layman terms and give examples in explaining and driving that and driving those adoptions, right? um and the third thing, what I think is people and change management. So these are like key things which security leaders often come in to drive a cultural shift. So many organizations these days are, moving towards, let's say, technology wise into microsegmentation and browser security. So they need to have the ability to influence without an authority, right? Rather than just pushing things down. So there are quite a few skills which are needed so that your idea, your technical ability, you should have technical skills, but also at the same time, you should know how to interpret them to a non-technical person in the best way possible.
Thank you, Sanjay. Sanjay, considering that a lot of security breaches they involve human errors. Now, how do you create a culture that employees feel that they are not getting punished for mistakes and they are feeling secured in that culture? How do you create that?
Right. So yeah, this happens, and this is not questioned. Uh, this happens a lot more times than you even know, and there isn't like a very big culture or a question around this. So this is a great question, right? So we are all humans, we are all working, we are trying to do our best, but from time to time we obviously make some errors here and there, like sometimes these could lead to, like breaches, security breaches, and the culture then becomes a bit of a like a blame game rather than like a bit of a shared responsibility and continuous learning. So the first thing I would say is that, cybersecurity or IT security over here should be treated as a team sport and just not an issue, right? Just not an IT issue, right? So security should be an everybody's responsibility. So like what I usually see, and like leaders, a good leader does is that they communicate regularly what, like, why security matters. They provide training. They they do a lot of training in common sense as well. Like, for example, like we all know that we should not click on malicious links, or not every email is coming from your boss or your HR or from any other organization. There is also a bit of a psychological safety, right? So for example, let's say that you see some mistakes or suspicious activity. So without having that person being punished, you you sort of like, like have an open conversation. You get the right people involved so that everybody is aware and those mistakes are not repeated. And the third is that, like we should make security easy and frictionless. So people bypass controls. Um, I would say, a lot of the times people are guilty of downloading malicious, softwares without the IT authority. So by providing such gentle reminders and training and having such discussions, instead of just, like stopping or blocking it, or actually finding ways around to give them alternate truths, because they are trying to achieve something. They get frustrated, they download something, they don't know about it, but they should come forth to the IT team, requesting them, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you have a tool? Because I need a tool to work on these things. So help a brother out, like some of those things. So yeah, this should be a culture where everybody's involved, and it's just not like a one person responsible for this entire, like security.
Sanjay, if I ask you today, what are some of the top opportunities for management students in cybersecurity? Because we know that, we have a notion, students have a notion that, it can be extremely technical. But then do you see a lot of management opportunities in the field for management students?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for MBAs, the cybersecurity and the network securities space, I would say, offers, like lucrative and excellent opportunities right now, and especially I would say in strategic roles, because that's where MBAs would mostly be used there. So, some of the key roles which I find is there are sales leadership roles, there are business development roles, there are product management roles. So these are essentially translating complex cybersecurity tech, like let's say SASE, into business outcomes for enterprises, and these are critical to the organization, and these are high paying roles as well. The other area what I see is cyber risk management and strategy. So like these roles are very transformative in how a company deals, acts, and works towards their cybersecurity, and also for the transformation of like clients, like they can be in any field like finance and retail, which I've worked like with them previously in such areas, so they are pretty good. Another one which comes to mind is product go-to-market and partnerships. So people who can drive sales, and they can go to market and pitch, sell, showcase how this product works, how it's beneficial, how we are so much differentiate from the competitors. And plus, with the new AI powered security solutions, we also, like they can also try and build, like GSI, uh, alliances with some of the like top companies out there. So yeah, there are great opportunities, and I think this is a evergreen field where MBAs are always welcome.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Sanjay, let us talk about the future. Looking ahead, what trends do you see shaping the cybersecurity uh, area, I would say, in the next 3 to 5 years? And how can cybersecurity leaders prepare for this change?
Right. So, looking 3 to 5 years, I see enterprise network security evolving a lot more rapidly, notably around what I've, notably around around AI and SASE. So I see enterprises adopting to a full convergence of SASE and AI-driven security. So organizations are moving far beyond the traditional firewalls, and they are going to SASE platforms where it is a one screen, one panel management control of your network and monitoring your users throughout your organization, right? So, and there is a big component of this within cloud as well. So for example, let's say there are so many different vendors out there, for example, like Netscope, Zscaler, Palo Alto, Fortinet. They are all enabling, secure access from anywhere, and which has the built-in trust component inside of it. So expect that as a default, as everybody is not like pretty much all of us are somewhere hybrid employees, right? So we do work from home and we do work from the office sometimes. Second, what I feel like is there is going to be a strong adoption and strong adoption of AI and automation. So in both threat and defense. So we'll see a more autonomous security. Like for example, let's say that whenever AI is able to detect something, so it's going to do its quarantining, take action, or send you notifications. So that is all going to take place in real time. So that is like a big winner, which I easily see is there, and it's gaining a lot of traction. So for example, like if there is a C2C attack, right? So that can be AI can easily block that today. And even encrypted traffic, AI can decrypt those traffics to scan them. So this is all done pretty easily, pretty swiftly, right? So the third thing, what I think is becoming a bit of a non-negotiable these days, is zero trust. So there is a lot of concepts, and like how networks are designed. The architecture is changing, and people are more looking towards microsegmentation and continuous verifications of users from anywhere, wherever they access. So enterprises in finance and manufacturing, what I found out that they are already prioritizing this kind of an approach to limit any breaches. So yeah, like this is what I see for the next 3 to 5 years, and I think there would be more areas, but like these are easy winners from what I see of where the enterprise security and AI security is heading towards.
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for taking out your precious time and talking to us and giving all those rich insights. Really a great interaction and a great time with you we had today. And we are really hopeful to see you again in the future for any other interactions of Be Smart Business Standard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Abhishek. It was fun having this conversation. It did, you know, I had to look deep into these topics as well to understand them. But yeah, it's been great interacting with you folks. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap on this episode of Manager's Mantra. Thank you, Sanjay, for sharing your rich experience and providing career tips to the B Schoolers, Be Smart viewers. We hope you found this conversation helpful. Share your thoughts with us at bsmart.edit@bsml.in. Follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram for more such insightful and inspiring content. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.